were you able to watch the highlights from last night? What were kind of your thoughts?
It was, I mean, basically said it last night. It was an unbelievable performance that you really didn't see coming until it happened. I mean, he started off the game hot, obviously, but to stay that consistent, getting it from the free throw line, the three-point line, mid-range, layups, it was an ultimate clinic. So it was as entertaining to watch, you know, on the highlights after as it was live.
How fun is it playing the Clippers? How fun has it been in recent years?
I mean, it's obviously our first time playing this year, so a new 4-game journey against this team. But we have obviously a history that you play in the division, you know, year after year, and you know, we're fighting for the same goal of not only winning division but playoff seeding and coming out of the West. It's been a nice little back and forth, and they're obviously playing well this year, so it's going to be a tough challenge for us to get a win on the road against a good team.
Is there any more slice to it this year with, you know, Space is now down there, Kevin has some history with him, and he's on your side? Is there any more?
Nah, I mean, they could be a team down the road that we need to get through to get to where we want to go, and they probably see us the same way. So it's been like that since we both kind of became playoff caliber teams over and over again, you know, 4 or 5 years ago. So just tomorrow's a regular season game that will test us on both ends of the floor to see if we can execute like we did last night on offense, but then defend, you know, their high-octane offense as well.
So this wasn't a rivalry when you first came into the NBA. This Warriors Clippers didn't mean a whole lot. At what point did it start to happen? Because it was before you guys met in the playoffs. It was already there. Remember when it started?
I couldn't think of a defining moment. Obviously, when CP got there and they became a different, or the organization took a different turn for the better. Obviously, it's probably that year, the first year we made the playoffs, because we, you know, the records were a lot better than they usually were, and there's a little more excitement around the new up and coming teams. But I don't know if there's a defining game or anything. It was just two paths kind of merged or you know, elevated at the same time.
What did you guys learn about yourselves that 2014 playoffs? You guys were playing a little bit short-handed. Took them to 7 games and were right there at the end. What do you take from that series, and what did you guys learn?
One, how, you know, hard it is obviously to win in the playoffs, and then when you go the distance, you know, I mean, we've seen that obviously recently. Just it's hard to win playoff series, no matter how you play, and you know, just a couple bounces here, a couple bounces there, injuries, whatever. You know, those kind of experiences are just so much fun, and what you play for, and just knowing that you belong on that stage, and that's what you work for. You know, throughout the course of the summer and every single regular season, to get to series like that matter and can either make or break your season. So just it was a playoff atmosphere that I don't think the year before when we played Denver and San Antonio, it was to another level. So it was definitely a lot of fun.
If I ask Coach Curry this question, when Kevin Durant came over here, you know, paired up with all you guys, did you think it was possible that any one of you guys could still break out for a 50 or a 60-point game with all the offensive weapons you guys, and how the ball has to be distributed throughout?
I mean, yeah, the character guys we have on the team understand, you know, how the game flows. So when you have a night like last night where one person gets extremely hot and they keep getting open looks and you keep finding them, that's going to help our team win as long as we're doing it and take care of the ball and being disciplined about it to a certain extent. but how much fun that, I mean, it's the whole team, but like me and KD had watching Clay do what he did. Like there's no jealousy, there's no whatever you want to call it. It's just so much fun to watch a guy do what he did and chase historic numbers and, you know, again, help our team win. So, yeah, there is one ball, but we've demonstrated over the course of the season how it can be balanced. And then if somebody gets hot, you ride that hot hand until it isn't hot anymore. We get as much pleasure out of that as we individually do, you know, having games like that.
Have you ever thought about, you know, because you and Clay, you guys have sat out a lot of fourth quarters over the last couple of years. Have you ever thought about what could possibly be your maximum points scored in the game? You don't have to mention the team or what game, but have you ever thought about that if you had played one of those fourth quarters?
Well, I don't think I've had a situation like Clay's had last night where he, off the top of my head, I can't think of one where you're at 60 and you're thinking, do I play in the fourth quarter or not? Like my 50-point games, they were, I played in the fourth quarter kind of a deal. But just thinking about what Clay could have done, I mean, would he probably have 70? Yeah. Would he push 80? He was on pace for it, so why not? And then you can talk about whether coach should have played him or not, or all that kind of stuff. I think he made the right decision. It's just the basketball guys he talks about all the time. You do the right thing in those situations, and you're up 30, and you're thinking big picture about what we're trying to do this season. I think it's pretty much a no-brainer. Obviously, the fans and even us to a certain extent wanted to know what he could have done, but you don't risk. You don't. With a 30-point lead, you do what you would normally have done if he had 20, 25 points. But it's just how it goes. But I'm sure he'll be in that situation again.